Hey.
Okay. This is gonna be an interesting review. First up, because
Review Crew Udon Edition.
Muha is eating.
I haven't eaten
soup.
in like all day, so I had to get something on the way out
So
of the food court.
he got the stinkiest thing he can get from the time.
Stinkiest? It's soup.
I mean, it smells good, but it's still a little stinky.
If it smells good, by definition, it's not stinky.
Well, by definition, it's stinky. It's a good stink.
No, it's a good stink. I've never heard that phrase.
Well, congratulations.
Stink is
right there.
inherently negative in my vocabulary.
Well, then we have very different vocabularies.
For example,
I'm
if I
open
say you
minded.
stink, that doesn't necessarily...
Then I would say thank you, sir, and I'd be on my way.
All right, sure, whatever. Anyway,
So, yeah. So,
Jupiter
Ascending.
Ascending.
I mean, this we were originally gonna see Project Almanac, but astonishingly, it was sold out.
It was sold
I still can't believe that. It's like, really? Everyone wanted to see the crabby Michael Bay produced movie? Okay.
Oh, it's Michael Bay produced?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, now you do.
Well, I'm glad we saw this instead.
Yeah, so last minute.
I know you're not, but you know.
Yeah. Either way, I was gonna have a bad time. I think.
Do you think you would have had a worse time?
I probably would have had a worse time in Project Almanac.
Well, then we're both winning here.
Okay, so this is a case where Muha, you and I have done quite a few reviews together. This is the first time I think we seriously disagree on a movie.
We kind of disagreed on Inherent Vice.
Even then, we're still kind of on the same page.
We agreed that it was good, but I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than you did.
That is true, but I think this one we definitely disagree on this one.
Yeah. So let's give a bit of a preface with this. The Wachowskis. It's been a while since The Matrix. Nobody's forgotten it, though. And nobody's forgotten the sequels either. Mm-hmm. I'm the only person I've ever personally met who likes all three Matrix movies. For completely different reasons, but I love all of them. And the third one especially holds a special place in my heart, because it is one of the greatest blends of epic action and absolute shithouse writing and acting that I've ever seen in my life.
At least you're honest.
And it's this amazing interplay between seeing people take themselves way too seriously and just really great action set pieces. And I forgot how good they were at the action. And the best way to sum it up, I think, to start with, is on the way here. He said it's a bad action movie, and I said no. You might be able to get away with calling it a bad movie, but as an action movie, it's not a bad action movie at all. It's a pretty kick-ass action movie, and I'm a fan of action movies, so I could probably take a bit more of that with a bit more assault than you can.
Maybe.
So yeah, why don't you open up?
Okay, so I am not necessarily a fan of the Matrix movies. I mean, I like the first one fine. I mean, it hasn't aged great, but it's still good.
Oh yeah, by the way, the Wachowskis still have a penchant for costume design that looks like they just pulled people out of a 90s industrial rave. It's pretty great. I love it.
Okay, so honestly, like, I was okay with like the final action set piece of the last Matrix movie until the video game came out, and I realized it could have been so much better if we got a giant Mr. Smith.
In the video game, they could at least finally, you know, with the movie they had to at least pretend they were taking it seriously.
Yeah, the game they could
but they were just having fun, you could tell.
Yeah, anyway, this movie though, Jupiter Ascending, I thought was one of the most self-indulgent, pretentious,
Of course it was!
train wrecks I have seen in a long fucking time. And seriously, shit I have seen. That is saying a lot.
Self-indulgent, pretentious train wrecks. Let's see.
Which describe a lot of the Wachowskis' work.
That's funny, because I could say the same thing, like, from all the, from everything that I've heard, you could say the same thing about a lot of movies.
This one, though, I feel like it was more obvious, though, and like in comparison to other movies that I've seen. Like, this one just feel like they were just throwing shit at the wall and see what stuck. That's kind of what I felt.
I didn't feel that at all.
Because, like, oh my god, everything it's so stupid. And a lot of what happens is so fucking dumb.
It's sci-fi.
I know it's sci-fi, but I've seen good sci-fi. It's like, even the stuff that's dumb, at least I can find entertaining.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be Interstellar.
I know it's like Interstellar. I'm not expecting to be Interstellar, but not this either. It's not an excuse to make this kind of bullshit.
This bullshit is fun.
To you, I guess I did different definitions there, but
Yeah,
I mean, I can enjoy occasionally dumb sci-fi movie, but I don't feel like they were trying to make this dumb. I think that's just how it came off as.
I think you're taking it a little too seriously.
Maybe I am. I
think you are.
I feel like the Wachowskis were taking this too seriously. I don't
No.
I don't know. At least that's the impression I got out of it.
Okay, let me put it this way. When you're doing something that you need to have people with like an extra bit of, you know, swashbuckly swagger, that kind of heroic with the horns blaring and like all that shit. Okay, let's jump back. And here's the thing. I'm gonna bring up Star Wars a lot, and some of you guys might have a problem with it, you might have a problem with it, but I personally, I put this up there.
Really?
Yes.
I do kind of have a problem with that.
Yes.
Are you talking about the original or the prequels?
Both.
Oh, fucking bullshit.
Because we give the originals way too much credit. The original Star Wars movies were campy and badly written and are full of plot holes and are just stupid. They are stupid fucking movies. They are wonderful, fun, enjoyable romps, but they're stupid movies.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm going to separate myself from this. Okay. So that way all the hate strikes towards you and not me.
I don't give a shit. So, now...
I already got enough shit for Kirk Cameron.
Well, I mean, you gotta also understand that, you know, with the original Star Wars movies, they did not plan it to be...
No, they didn't.
It was meant to be a standalone.
Yeah.
A New Hope was meant to be a standalone. There are articles, evidence of this. It was never planned as a full thing from the start. Never. So, with that in mind, that aside, looking at the prequels, their problem was heavy-handedness and pacing.
Yeah.
And I noticed it especially because I tried to watch through all the Star Wars movies with a friend of mine recently. And you notice a significant difference in direction and pacing from when you jump from the original trilogy to the prequels. And that's why I find this movie to be such a good middle ground.
I don't know.
Because
I'm not sure I agree.
It has the campy sense of humor. It has the crazy-ass action sequences. And the music, even, at certain points, reminded me very distinctly of Star Wars. I was thinking of either the chase at the beginning of Attack of the Clones, or some of the better set pieces in Revenge of the Sith. But if you take that, and then you take it back to the other side of, like, back with the original Star Wars, where they kind of didn't care as much, and you can tell in some of the acting, like, they're having fun, like, aren't you kind of short for a stormtrooper? He's like, oh, yeah. Like, that kind of, like, that's... It feels like a little more of that is present in here, whereas in the prequels, the actors were all taking it way too seriously.
I didn't really get the sense of humor. Like, I mean, occasionally there's a few jokes in there, but, like, I really didn't get it. Like, I don't know if I was just missing something or what, because, like...
I think you were.
I felt like this movie just was taking itself way too fucking seriously, and...
I think you were missing out on a bit of the humor that was in
I
there.
was. I just know, like, someone made me groan out loud, like the fact that there's this character played by Sean Bean, Sean Bean, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sean Bean.
And you owe me $10.
Hey, you never said yes to the bet, so I don't know your shit.
Damn it! Because I didn't say it loud enough.
Yeah,
he bet that Sean Bean would die. Spoiler, he doesn't die.
Yeah, I was disappointed.
You were disappointed that Sean Bean finally lived?
It's kind of like your tradition, man, I'm saying. It's like you should die National Treasure.
I'd hate to see a horror movie with you whether the black guy doesn't die first.
Okay, that one I would actually applaud. But it's Sean Bean, man. And Sean Bean, he's supposed to die. It's like his fate in Hollywood. Anyway, but I don't know. It's like I just felt like the costume design especially, which is like, oh dear fucking god,
it's sci-fi.
That was self-indulgent even for sci-fi.
Okay, let me put it this way. Did you like Riddick?
No!
Because if you liked Riddick, you'll like Jupiter.
I thought Riddick was really fucking stupid too!
Riddick was really fucking stupid, and it was great!
I mean, at least Pitch Black was stupid enough that I can still enjoy it, but Riddick was like, oh fucking Jesus Christ!
I mean, okay, let me put it this way. In Riddick...
Wait, we're talking about Riddick or Chronicles of Riddick?
Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay.
I didn't see Riddick. But in Chronicles of Riddick, the part where he's like, "What are you gonna do? Kill me with your little soup cup?"
Okay, that was actually fun.
It's a teacup.
And then smash.
Very, very matter-of-factly says it's a teacup, right? There's no humor being said in that scene, but it's funny.
The only part that even made me laugh, like, from that perspective, though, was the main villain, evil Stephen Hawking, or Marius.
Okay, let's get to him in a bit.
Yeah, because he's a topic.
But I'm just saying that there were things throughout the movie where like where he says, "I'm closer to a dog than you."
That was like the only like good
and
like,
she
joke I
said,
could actually see.
"I really love dogs," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go," and she's like, "Oh, I really love dogs." Like, it's and maybe you didn't catch the rest of it because of the mindset that you were in, but seriously, that kind of humor was throughout the whole film.
I don't know. That's like
it was there.
I believe you. I just didn't. It wasn't funny to me. I guess
you need to see it again without being so upset.
I'm not gonna go see this again.
Well, you were okay. I'm pretty sure he was determined to be upset when he walked into this movie. Okay?
I was expecting not to like it. I wasn't expecting to hate it as much as I did.
Yeah, but you walked in with your shit-colored glasses in front of you.
That's not fair. There are movies I've gone in there expecting to completely hate and I've really, really liked.
And
this movie did not do that.
Yeah.
My point is, don't make a shit movie and I won't have my shit glasses on.
Well, okay.
I'm open to being surprised, but I wasn't fucking surprised here.
I wasn't either, and I had a blast. Okay. The plot is silly.
Yes.
The acting is they do the best that they can with the script, but the script is kind of silly.
This makes Destiny look subtle.
It's
the writing in this is so awful.
It's so greatly awful. It's so wonderfully bad.
But
okay,
it's so painful. The Sean Bean guy's name, who lives with a bunch like his beehive, his name is Stainer. And when I caught that joke, I was like, oh, fucking Jesus God.
You always loved bees. What's your problem?
His name is Stainer. Transformers has more creativity. Well, take that back. When the character's name is Bumblebee.
All right. So,
dumb fucking joke. His name is Stainer. He ends up with bees. Got any more questions? I didn't think so.
That's awesome. Okay, here's the thing. You can't approach this taking it any more seriously than you can approach a movie like Wanted.
Did I like Wanted?
I don't know. Did you? Probably not.
Not really.
I enjoyed Wanted a lot. A lot of people didn't. I liked it.
I think at the time I thought it was mediocre.
It is mediocre, but the set pieces are interesting, and it is unique enough for me to enjoy it.
Fair enough.
Separate from other things. And James McAvoy is just fucking great.
Oh yeah.
But a movie like, say, Wanted takes itself really fucking seriously. Really, really seriously. It has weird bits of humor peppered throughout, crazy action sequences, and it's written like a comic book, so it's gonna be kind of dumb.
Except it was based on a comic book.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I'm saying that when you're watching something like Jupiter Ascending, you are undoubtedly looking at the work of people who read a shit ton of comic books.
Yeah, using that same logic you're going with, though, like, I'll use Dracula Untold as an example, because that was a dumb movie that I loved for all the wrong reasons. But, like, because that was just a dumb, campy quality that I can get behind. I could not get behind this level of camp for some reason. It did not work for me.
But that was like goth camp.
Yeah.
This is like sci-fi camp.
Even then, I'm sure if I really thought, I could think of some sci-fi camp that I've enjoyed in the past. This one, I just did not do it for me. Like, there's
not camp enough for you to camp it.
I feel like they're just throwing shit in the wall and see what sticks. And especially with the fucking costume design.
I disagree.
Which is just so out there. And
I
it's
disagree.
Like, oh my fucking God.
Each different setting they were in had consistent design choices for the architecture of that area. Here's the thing. As the movie was going through, I was paying a lot of attention to the art direction. And from the way that they design the ships to the way that they design each of the different places that they go to, each one has a distinctive flavor that actually is consistent throughout all the different settings and the clothes people are wearing there. And it's really interesting to watch them go from one area to another and see the differences in art choices and designs. And that's actually one of the things that made me think of Star Wars, was to think that these people had actually come up with this really interesting idea for a pretty expansive universe. And there are random aliens that are popped in here and there. And and the way that the aliens are designed feels a lot like, you know, the way that the original Star Wars did, where you just have a bunch of random aliens here and there. It's like, oh, that's a really cool alien design, and there are a few of them here and
But
there.
even then, I feel like they're just, a lot of them are unnecessarily complicated. Like, you have
Like
the handsome Jack people. Like, the one with the little robot
They're
faces.
cyborg dudes.
I felt it was really distracting.
Why?
It just, I don't know, I feel like there's too much going on. I feel like it's like, okay, take a break, tone it fucking down. Stop bombarding me with new senses. Like, I mean, even like,
Why?
take the Star Wars movies.
They made new things. Oh, damn it.
No. Like, my point is, it feels like they're restoring shit of the world. It doesn't feel like it's an organic world to me. It feels like they're restoring shit of me, just have visual stimuli there. Like, say what you will about the original.
You could make that exact argument for a shitload of sci-fi movies, including Star Wars.
I disagree, because even like the designs in the Star Wars movies still felt, to me, organically in that world.
Really?
To me, yes.
Even the devil dude in the Mos Eisley camp.
I'm talking most about the original trilogy.
No. Yeah, the devil dude in the original bar where, not Mos Eisley, yeah, it is Mos Eisley, isn't it? Where Han shoots Greedo?
Yeah.
So, that scene, you remember when it goes over all the different aliens? You remember there's a dude who is clearly dressed like a devil, Satan, with horns and the beard?
actually
You don't? Because it's fucking there.
I believe you.
They threw shit at the wall with Star Wars. It's the nature of sci-fi when you're directing a universe that you don't have all the resources to explore entirely.
Well, I mean, like, let's take, like, the
And before we continue with that in mind, how can you look at that whole sequence and not say that the movie has a sense of humor?
Okay, that's a fair point.
Intergalactic DMV sequence with all kinds of bureaucracy, different alien designs that they talk to as they go through, all this crazy bullshit, and in the end, of course, they just end up having to bribe a dude. And it's... I loved it. I was laughing my ass off just because I've been through that, and it's so...
I guess this is one of those things where you just have to chalk it down to different tastes.
I know, but it seems to me like you saw those things and you're like, I don't care that part's funny. The rest is shit. Like, you completely washed that out of your brain.
To be fair, there are parts of the movie that I did like. I did like the final action climax. I thought that was pretty solid.
Yes.
I thought the actions in general were pretty good, even though sometimes I was worried it was going to give me like a seizure.
Well, there was a lot going on. By the way, if you're gonna see this movie, fucking see it in 3D. I mean, if you're gonna go see it,
the 3D was
see
good.
it in 3D. It is definitely one of the things where 3D matters.
Yeah.
Like the action sequences were amazing in 3D.
Like the fight with Channing Tatum and the Lizard Dude was a highlight.
Yeah, absolutely great. It's almost like if you go to watch Avatar, if you're gonna sit through a 3-hour movie with aliens and crazy action sequences, get the 3D just so you can go through the enjoyment of seeing all that shit fly around. Like, it's worth it. If the movie's worth seeing to you, it's worth seeing in 3D.
Yeah.
Put it that way. But that's why I feel like, you know, when you say that the movie has no camp, that exact sense of humor...
No, I did not say it had no camp. I said the camp didn't work for me.
Okay, it didn't work for you, fine. But you said that you didn't think that it was trying to be funny. I take that DMV sequence and use that as the central point to show that sense of humor is actually the sense of humor that was pervasive throughout the entire rest of the film. And I don't think you noticed because you were so miserable. So you couldn't get over the acting.
I could not.
Or the writing.
Or
anything. I mean, you can...
You're just like, those two things are fucking huge.
When the Russian dude is like, you didn't do it? I just spent all this money. And then freaks out and he runs upstairs. Like, the Russian family in general is meant to be to laugh at half the time.
It's Russian stereotypes.
It's not Russian stereotypes. It's a bickering family.
I don't know. I guess I don't know about Russian stereotypes.
As a non-American person, or as an American who has non-American people and a non-American family, that's how we bicker.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that one.
Okay, and that's just the way that we have dinner. And when you have a big family that has dinner together and they're all up in each other's business like that, that's how they talk. It's not stereotypes, it's how they live.
Fair enough. I will give you that one. That is fair.
With that in mind, that entire thing was supposed to be this thing like, oh, they're all silly and nosy, but that's what makes them lovable. It's endearing in a way.
Okay, I'll give you that one. That is a fair point. Okay.
So with all that in mind, I was able to enjoy the movie and not take it too seriously. And the points where it was trying to be really serious, I laughed because it was kind of cheeseball. It was like, all right, I'll take it.
That's where I was rolling my eyes though, because this whole thing, to point, apparently Earth was not the birthplace of humans. There's like thousands of other colonies of humans in there, but they're all breeding.
It's an interesting idea.
It's a dumb idea.
How is it not an interesting idea?
I mean, like, if there was like harvesting farms, like, for what? And then that's kind of where it lost me. It's like, for more time. It was like, oh Jesus. It's like that just like
I mean, here's the thing,
that
though.
struck me as super fucking pretentious, and I don't
The
use that
writing-
word lightly.
The writing did make that difficult. However, the concept itself I found to be really intriguing.
I felt like in better writing hands, it could have been interesting.
Possibly, but I think the concept as an overall idea of how the universe that they made worked, I think it worked. It made sense. And honestly, of course, yeah, it's obviously some liberal propaganda in there. The rich get so rich that they basically start making people so that they can, like, process them into some kind of soylent that helps them stay young forever,
and you
like for thousands of years. So,
and you don't see the irony in that.
What, you don't? It's the whole thing about, you know, if the rich could, they would harvest the poor for immortality, and you don't think they would?
No,
I don't know, but the movie makes it as part of their world. So
no, it's like you don't see like the hypocrisy that kind of have in the movie about that.
What?
Is the fact that the rich are so rich that they can just have all these grandiose things, and the movie is constantly bombarding you with all these different things all at once, and it kind of expecting you to go along with it. Then like the movie is as overindulgent as the people are telling you it's bad to be overindulgent for.
No,
You don't see it?
I see the connection you're trying to make, and I think it's a really, really loose one.
Okay, maybe I'll give you that one. But
It's like saying their economical philosophy is ironic because they chose to design a lot of things.
fair point.
I mean, it is a social commentary in the sense that the rich will eat the poor, but like it doesn't really go much further than that. Then you can't eat the poor. Like there's that's really the depth of the discussion. So just take that as it is. Go and fly off. By the way, air rollerblades, gravity rollerblades, fucking.
Okay, like I said, that stuff was cool.
They were
fun.
fun. They were cool.
Like, all I could think of was like, fuck, he must have stolen off Ratchet and Clank.
Dude, I like that first sequence where he busts out of the room and then jumps up off of the different fire escapes and like rides along the buildings. I thought, I want to play this. I want this as a game. And then that first sequence when they try to escape from Chicago, that crazy ass chase. That was awesome.
Like I said,
that was awesome.
Like, say what you will about Wachowski brothers' writing, their action scenes are always top notch.
The Wachowskis.
I'm sorry,
one of them's a lady now.
I always butcher their name.
No, it's just one of them's a lady now.
Oh, I did not know that.
That's why it's Lana Wachowski, not Larry.
I did not know that.
Really?
I completely missed all that.
It happened like 10 years ago.
I was not into movies 10 years ago, so I was 14.
I was 14 and fucking like. I was hoovering movies down like fucking.
I didn't really get into movies until I was like 16 or so. So then I started to follow all that shit. So give me props. I didn't follow the movie industry all that much back then. But anywho, so
I've been into movies since I was like 7. So
it took me a long time to figure out that
it's hard for me to understand.
Is what I wanted to do. Yeah. So again, different backgrounds.
Yeah.
But anyway. I do think we should talk about the villain though, because he was my favorite part of the movie. I will give complete props to him. He made that part 100% enjoyable to watch. Played by even Stephen Hawking. I don't know his name. I know he can act pretty well. Like he even made the role of Marius in the Les Mis movie tolerable.
Here's.
There we go.
There's a. You know the Sherlock series?
Yeah. BBC one or
BBC.
The Elementary? Okay, yeah.
Elementary.
Yeah, Elementary sucks, man.
Yeah. Lucy Liu as Watson. Wow, what a
wacky concept.
What a forward-thinking choice. I feel like they hired her for political reasons rather than her acting reasons. But then again, I never thought Lucy Liu was a good actor at all. Ever.
It's one of those shows that, like, you know what? There's no way that he's going to be Benedict Cumberbatch, so I'm not even interested. But
well, anyway, that aside. Moriarty in the BBC show is a polarizing villain because some people think he's ridiculous and he ruins it. I personally love the depiction of Moriarty in that show.
I can't stand it, but that's...
I think that it's just rides the perfect line of, like, unstable, jokery insanity mixed with just a guy who, like, is kind of whimsical and shit and very little control of his emotions.
See, that's another case we disagree. I can't stand Moriarty in the BBC series.
But yeah, with that in mind, this villain makes me understand why people hate that Moriarty. He does this whole thing where he constantly talks like someone who's dying.
Yeah.
Like,
like I knew that was like.
I don't know how long I've been waiting.
He does that the entire fucking movie. And there's just random points where he just bursts out with this yell.
And I guess it's supposed to indicate that he has barely contained range under it. But
nope.
If his voice, it might work a little better if his voice didn't break every time that he did it. Like, expect him to be like, I'm pleased that you didn't capture him. Go get him. Go! Like, some shit like that. But it's not that. He's like, go kill her. Go! Like, it's... What did you just do?
Although it did lead to the best line in the movie, which I'm gonna use again.
I created life!
Like, there's this part where Mila Kunis confronts him towards the very end. Mila Kunis, by the way, who does almost fucking nothing through this entire movie.
Huh?
She does almost nothing through this.
I thought she did well considering what she was
just
given.
goes along with everything that everyone else tells her and spends 90% of the movie getting rescued by Channing Tatum.
She's a fucking Chicago maid. What is she supposed to do? She doesn't know anything about
her to kick ass, but I feel like, I don't know, do something that makes me feel like I should care that you're royalty. But anyway.
No, she doesn't even care that she's royalty. I just care that she's this poor fucking girl lost in this weird situation.
I just gotta know about how fucking global she was.
But anyway. you have to do the whole thing, because when she confronts him, like, how can you do this to these people? It's immoral. And how, I don't understand how you can be so immoral. And he's like, I created life!
And just out of nowhere, he's
Shut up!
Okay.
I created life! And I can take it away. Because you need the second half of that, and you need the pause, because that shit, that is acting. that is theater acting at its most self-indulgent, pretentious bullshit level of like, okay, so if it wasn't already clear, he has a God complex, but let's just throw the God giveth and taketh away. So just to make it clear that he thinks he's God and he's up there. It's a man playing God, and you can't have a man playing God because it's God, so you gotta kill him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the discussion we got in this movie is probably 10 times more interesting than what you got at Project Almanac.
yeah. Probably would've gone to Project Almanac and be like, well, that was kind of dumb. That was okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Next movie.
No, so you admit that at least a part of this movie is pretentious and overindulgent.
That's why it's funny.
Okay, so you admit that my point is valid, except you just enjoyed it.
Let me put it this way. You're taking the pretentiousness too seriously.
Maybe.
I see the pretentiousness as a point of humor.
Fair enough.
Because, for example, again, I gotta go back to the third Matrix movie. You cannot fully appreciate and enjoy the third Matrix movie until you stop taking it seriously. And then, you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna have an absolutely great time. Because there's shitty acting and writing everywhere to laugh at, and the action sequences are fucking incredible. It's a ridiculous budget, and these guys know how to film an action sequence. This movie, it's dumb as shit.
Yeah.
It's dumb. Yeah. It's a dumb movie. It's not gonna win any awards for script writing. But you know what it's gonna win for? Maybe, probably not, whatever. But what if it did win for anything? It would be visual effects.
Yeah.
It would be for that kind of shit. That's what you're going there for. You're not going here for Citizen Kane. Like,
no. There is one part that made me laugh to myself, because it remind me of Futurama, which is the part where the first air, like when the ships come out and they start shooting Channing Tatum who's carrying Mila Kunis in one arm and all that shit. Like, there's a part where I think it's like, he's hovering around kind of slowly on her boots. He should not be this hard to shoot. And then I thought back to the robots from the Mama Company when Bender was on the run. You remember those robots? When he's on the train, he goes, "Don't shoot!" He said, "Shoot!" Because I feel like they're not even aiming for Channing Tatum. They're just aiming for anything even remotely close to him.
Yeah.
And blowing it to bits.
Yeah.
It's like, and that made me laugh.
There's quite a bit of wanton destruction early in the film.
And then, I mean, I could spend hours pointing out plot holes and shit like that. But again, it's that kind of movie. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna waste my time.
Point one out.
For example, there's a part where...
you pointed out, I'll tell you why it doesn't matter.
You know what? You might as well get to your point, because it doesn't matter what I bring up. You're just going to come...
No, I was like, bring it up.
Okay, sure. All right.
Because there are specifics. Let me address your concerns, Michael.
All right, I'll bite. So there's a part early in the movie where Mila Kunis is like comforting her lady friend who just spends the entire time on screen in her underwear.
That was hilarious.
And while she's like picking out clothes for her, these little green men come up and start like saying if she's Mila Kunis because they're the one they're looking for. And then she takes a picture of him with her camera phone, and then instantly they notice that she's there and they mind wipe her and all that shit.
Her mom calls.
Her mom calls either way, and they mind wipe her. That's not the plot hole I'm talking about though.
Okay.
The plot is so she has the picture on her camera phone. She finds it later, and then after the chase scene goes down, the big one when like half of Chicago gets blown to bits, is Channing Tatum goes, you took that picture with the camera phone, and you don't remember taking it all, do you? Well, they just say mind wipe everyone that's back in the city, and I like he goes, but they don't check phones. Clearly they don't. Someone had to have taken a picture or recorded something of what happened and would have video or photo evidence of what happened. Therefore, put that on YouTube. Boom, conspiracy taken over. Meh. That's. You just made me go the long-winded thing just for meh.
Yeah, sci-fi.
And you're an asshole.
Sci-fi. If there were actually vampires drinking from all the fucking people in the city, someone would remember. Someone would remember this guy. Whatever. It's like anything where there's a large entity of creatures that are not supposed to be there and people are supposed to not remember them. Sci-fi, whatever.
So it's okay.
It's not important. Leave it alone.
It's okay when this movie does that. When Transformer does it, everyone gets off. In a hussy though.
I didn't get butthurt. I got offended at Transformers because.
Oh yeah, racist robots. But
yeah, I mean, there's a lot more reasons to hate Transformers than the plot holes. If you hate Transformers because your giant robot movie plot isn't quite making enough sense, I'm sorry. You're probably watching the wrong movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the plot hole in, say, Ninja Turtles.
Which ones?
Where she says, where she says, where they're tied up and they're being drained or whatever, and they're like, oh, quick, hit the button on the monitor, and it goes to the monitor, and there's a giant button that says shut down. Like,
I thought that was for adrenaline.
Oh yeah, just okay, but oh yeah, there was adrenaline. It was like a specific button that was a rescue function that would have given them the thing that they needed to escape. That was a button that takes up 80% of the screen.
Like the big stale buttons. Click. That was
it's like, boop. Why would they program that in?
Yeah, that was one of many plot holes.
Exactly. So it's not that stupid.
I think, have you ever seen the honest trailer of that movie?
No.
They called Shredder the Iron Throne. I thought that was a great joke. Anyway. No, I get what you were saying. It's one of those things, I feel like a good movie, sci-fi or otherwise, like, the movie should be good enough on its own that I shouldn't be looking for the plot holes. Or like,
did you have fun?
Like, that's kind of what it is. Like, take John Wick. It was an action movie that came out last year that I adored.
John Wick is a different matter. That is by the director of V for Vendetta.
Great movie.
That is,
yeah.
That's as big of a difference between Matrix and V for Vendetta. But again, I have to go back to Star Wars. When you watch Star Wars, do you bitch about the plot holes?
I can if I want. Well, it depends. Which one, talk prequels or original? Either or.
Double standard, isn't it?
I guess so. I don't know.
See, so now when you're looking at things like that,
I can easily bitch about the midichlorian thing. I'm just saying, if I wanted to, I could. Or Jar Jar Binks.
Well, let's leave the pseudo Jamaican slurs out of this. But
like Jar Jar's one of those characters. Like, I feel like he's racist, but I'm not sure towards who.
Yeah, no, he's racist towards Jamaicans. You're right.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that the Trinidadians, whatever part of that region you want to go for as that thing is. That general people. Jar Jar Binks was offensive in all kinds of ways. But anyway, but when you watch the Star Wars movies, do you really? Are you looking for plot holes to push holes through? When you watch a movie like Event Horizon, are you looking for the plot holes in this space hell portal?
Well, like even considering like the original Star Wars movies, like I can overlook the plot holes because I'm overall enjoying the movie. If I'm watching, like, say, episode 1, I can look for the plot holes because I'm not enjoying the fucking movie.
So,
it all comes up, like, is there enough fun for the compensate for the lack of a coherent plot? For you, maybe there was. For me, there wasn't.
I feel like there weren't enough plot holes to take down the plot.
I'm sure if I really went over some of that fine-tooth comb, I could find plenty, but
here's the thing. You keep on saying that you don't like it.
Okay, how about this, for example? When they capture Channing Tatum, why did they let him keep his boots?
That's an interesting thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I get the feeling that they're, like, bonded to him permanently or something. I have no idea.
Mila Kunis is wearing them at the end, so clearly they're not. So...
Mila Kunis has a pair in the end.
I just kind of assumed they were his pair, but...
She owns Earth!
Then why wouldn't she wear them when she went with the Russian family earlier?
Because she didn't have the whole thing to, like, get the boots in the first place.
Okay, then if you're gonna put Channing Tatum in an airlock...
No, I don't think they're actually, like, welded onto anything. There were multiple times where I'm like, why let him keep the boots?
Yeah.
But it seems like everything that they gave him, like, every situation they put him in, it feels like they made it so that the boots wouldn't matter. Like when he's trapped inside the cell and he tries to blow the grill off.
And there's also a part where they throw him out the airlock and they're just convenient spacesuits that let him live just long enough for him to get rescued.
Keep in mind, the spacesuits are, it's a normal airlock. It's not some execution airlock. So those spacesuits are in there because it's protocol. It's there for people who are going out.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's like, hey, maybe we should take that out for a second, just in case, hypothetically, he might use them to stay alive just long enough for some spaceship that might just come by our coordinates to come rescue him. I don't know, just a thought.
They didn't know they were being tracked. They didn't know that anyone was going to come get him.
I'm just saying, take every precaution when you're being evil. Oh, and by the way, one other thing. Since you've challenged me to nitpick the shit out of this thing.
Okay.
When he's fighting the lizard dude, there's a part where after Channing Tatum has burst his eye, broken his wing, and, like, broke his fucking knee, Channing Tatum was on the ground, crawling away, and he slowly walks to us. You hurt me. I'm gonna make you suffer. Then do it already! You're bent, you're monologuing!
What's wrong with monologuing?
I think The Incredible showed it.
Have you ever stood over the battered body of your genuinely already defeated enemy and just gloated for a second before smashing their head in?
Well, maybe once. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, you should try it more often. It's better than just being all business.
So where are the bodies exactly?
You think I'd leave bodies?
Okay, where are the barrels? I can see it on camera. I'm gonna be in the next one, aren't
Focus on the movie, bet.
What did you just call me?
I don't know.
Like enter the bandwagon.
I said "buh." I'm not sure where that was going.
In Bay. All right. This guy
Bay.
really, I don't know.
Might have been Barry. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, go on.
Those are the plots like at the top of my head. Oh, and also, main villain guy. If you're gonna kill her, just kill her. They're right. And back to ships. Why is it so hard to hit Channing Tatum?
Huh?
It's like, and back to the ship scene in Chicago. Why is it so hard to hit one slow-moving person on hover boots?
Because he's a master assassin, which means that...
Big-ass ships. Tiny little man on hover boots. I don't even go that fast.
Master assassin means that... Okay. The higher someone's assassin ranking is, the harder it is for bullets to hit him. Not for the people shooting the bullets. The bullets just kind of go, whoa, and go off. It's the stormtrooper thing.
And how about when the assassin people are outside...
Any other action movie where there are dozens of guys coming for the one dude, and he's like...
And that's why it's called Stormtrooper Syndrome.
Yeah.
And, here's another thing. And another thing. How is it Sean Bensby's... not Penn.
Sean Bensby?
It's like, if Sean Bean and Sean Penn had a baby.
And we're British somehow. Ooh, Bensby.
I should make a character with that name. And we're working on one called PJ Butterwater. Sequel to that video we get Sean Bensby.
You were saying?
Anyway, so...
About Sean Bensby.
Sean Bensby. When Sean Bean's character... why did the bees not...
You mean Stinger?
disdain anyone. Like, even like Lycan dude, or I guess they didn't go after Stainer. Ugh. But, or even Mila Kunis, but their bullshit logic of they know royalty when they see one. So I was like, ah. I mean, I can understand why. If you thought that was funny, I totally get why. I just thought that was really fucking stupid.
That was hilariously stupid.
Because I was like, oh, fuck you. Fuck you, movie. That was dumb as all hell. Not,
I could feel him twitch next to me when they said that.
Because like, I was like,
I laughed.
I know. Like, I could tell you were...
I laughed and just looked over him, and he's sitting there like...
There were plenty of times where I was like, kind of... Oh, God.
He took off his glasses a couple times just to
contemplate how, like, oh, fucking A.
Just to bask in his suffering.
I mean, it was hardly the most miserable experience I've had watching a movie by any stretch of the imagination. Like I said, at least towards the end, I was kind of enjoying myself, but... What's this?
It's No That's My Boy.
No, it's No That's My Boy, where I'm just seething in rage and self-hate, like, repeating this main character's mantra of, I hate my life.
Mm-hmm. So. But you did start enjoying it by the end.
At the end, like, towards the end, I kind of got more into it.
When did you give up enough to start enjoying it?
I think it was after I create life!
Okay,
You know,
good, good. That is pretty late in the movie.
Yeah.
But I would say that's probably the tone you should have taken the whole movie.
Probably.
You probably would have had a much better time.
I feel like if maybe that villain had more, like, voice cracking, yelling moments, I would have gotten more into it, because I'm a sucker for that shit.
Even when he was on... Dude, she kicks him in the nuts. It's
I know,
great.
and that made me laugh.
It's like, she's grabbing her by the throat, and his advisor's like, are you sure you want to do that before she signs a document? And she
like,
just fucking nut kicks him.
Yeah.
And he's like, and the assistant doesn't even say anything. He's just like, well. That's what I'm saying, dude. There's all these little moments where it's hilarious.
Like, as a... You saw me. I laughed a couple times. But it's like, okay, that was... basically, whenever Stephen Hawking was being extra villainy, made me laugh. When he wasn't, I'm a cancer patient dying voice. Mm-hmm. In which case, I was like, oh, brother. But it's like, I did kind of thought it was funny how the sleazy assistant dude of the main villain literally looked like a rat. Mm-hmm. And then we had Elephant Man, the pup, right the fuck out of nowhere.
That's actually something cool, too. When they talked about the gene splicing...
Yeah, I just remember that episode of Batman Beyond, but I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And even some of the prosthetics was really funky, like Channing Tatum had weird pointed ears, and like one woman who had the bunny rabbit ears and shit.
Well, they weren't quite bunny ears, they're just big ears.
Yeah, either way, I was like, oh, that looks silly. Oh, and then there
were a couple characters who had that.
I will keep kidding. One part that didn't make me laugh was Space Orgy.
Space Orgy was awesome. I'd do it. Just saying.
You know, I think we'd all would have. We'd all give it at least a try if we had access to Andrew.
It's just for a moment you just see floating bodies and moaning noises in your head. You're like, that would be interesting. Like, it's not even like, oh, orgy, yeah. It's like, space orgy would be neat. You know, gravity is a hindrance as to how many people I can touch at once.
Okay.
All directions.
You know what? I'm just gonna isolate that one part of space orgy is neat, and I'm gonna insert that into every sci-fi review I do from now on.
There was it definitely was no space orgy. We can just talk about that as like the highlight of scenes. It's like, you know, I thought it was really cool when they had that spacewalk sequence, but it was no space orgy.
No. I'm gonna use that actual clip. You know, like in my actual editor reviews, I like show video clips alongside references. I'm gonna use that as a reference and just find a way to put into a Star Wars movie somehow, or a Star Trek movie. Middle of it, just go, space orgy is neat, and then back to the movie. Or hell, I can probably find a way to put in a Thor 2. We have all the dark elves in like the giant prison thing.
Yeah.
Just put space orgy is neat.
Space orgy is neat. Yeah.
Okay.
Personally, coming out of this movie, I think that the Wachowski brothers actually would have been the perfect fit to redo the Star Wars movies. Wachowskis.
I disagree.
Simply because they could do exactly what was needed, which was the poor writing and plot holes and funny acting, mixed with the awesome set pieces and sci-fi and design and everything, but nail down the sense of humor that George Lucas was so unable to do. So
to me, I can't get past the acting and the poor writing. That just killed it for me.
In Star Wars?
No, in this movie.
Star Wars? Because that was nothing but bad acting and writing. There's no good writing in Star Wars.
Yeah, but it's more fun. To me, anyway.
Okay, this was more fun than the prequels.
That I will give you.
Okay.
That is fair.
This was more... Okay, this was more Star Wars than the prequels were.
That I will agree with.
Okay, we'll go with that. That we can agree on.
All right.
Because that's what I'm saying. I think it's a good middle ground between the two. I don't think it's like classic Star Wars campy, but I think that it's a good... Like, if you're looking at both of them and you're looking for something to be a mesh in the middle, I think it's a good place to be.
Like, I don't think we're ever going to come to full agreement. I can see where you're coming from, and I see why you would get some enjoyment out of this thing. So I can respect that.
Okay.
To me, there are too many things that I did not like, and that really dragged it down for me to really get into it.
My main goal with this whole thing was to, not to change your mind, but just to at least make you understand that I'm not a crazy person, like, who likes terrible things. Even though, like, it's basically a summary of what I am.
As long as you don't come here one day and try to defend a Tyler Perry movie to me, then we're okay.
They're an underfed demographic.
I'm not even gonna go there. Not even gonna go there.
It's a quote from Dear White People, remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. Like, I know there was a funny part with Tyler Perry in those movies. I forgot what was said during that part, because there were a lot of parts I liked better. But even though that was a great little commentary on Tyler Perry movies. But anywho, I think we covered everything. So, you want to talk about trailers then? Or not even, should we not even bother?
We didn't see that.
Well, we saw a couple. We saw the Will Smith movie, which is Need Focus. Has Will Smith being charming again?
Yeah, it's Will Smith being good. In the meantime, I have like half a dozen other movies coming up that I care more about than seeing Will Smith get punched.
It has that girl from Wolf of Wall Street. She's good.
I don't care.
Oh. And we did get the tail end of the Avengers 2 trailer, which still looks awesome.
Which everyone already knows about. So.
Yeah, so there's no point really talking about it. I don't know, I'm just excited to see James Spader. But
Wait, James Spader?
Yeah, he plays Ultron.
I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
That's cool as fuck. I love James Spader.
If I'm thinking of the right person, James Spader's the same guy that's in Blacklist, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but he plays Ultron in this movie.
Holy shit, that is brilliant.
There you go. So, I'm surprised you didn't recognize this voice. It's just that awesome money shot, with the Pinocchio quote.
Yeah. There are no strings on me.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so... Yeah, so I think after our lengthy discussion, this is probably the longest review we've done in a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
I think...
Perfect timing, too. Just my soup.
Yeah, I think it's good. Perfect and...
Really perfect timing.
Perfect timing on that.
I'm like right done.
So I think after watching this lengthy review, you kind of got an idea where we're coming from. So you can kind of decide for yourself whether or not you like this movie. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with The Loft. And I don't know, should we give Project Almanac another shot? I think we should give it at least one more try.
It's sold out.
I mean, not today, obviously, but like another day.
No, but I mean, it's sold out, which means there is an interest in it.
Yeah, so we'll probably check that out. We'll give that another shot.
We'll give it a shot if we have time.
Like next week.
I think that there are other more important movies to watch.
Yeah, we got SpongeBob movie coming out.
I'm not watching that shit.
We already covered like the big one for this week with this video, which is nice. So, yeah, we'll catch up on shit eventually. It's like February's going to the new January for shitty movies. I don't know why. But, yeah. So, yeah.
It's not a shitty movie.
It's shitty-ish.
It's not a good movie, but it's an awesome action movie. Remember that.
All you think of is like, I'd rather be watching Ender's Game. But
Ew. Ew.
I liked Ender's Game.
Ew.
I liked it. It was a good movie.
Ew.
It was a good movie.
No. Ew.
We're gonna end on that.
It wasn't a bad movie, but to put it above this,
I liked it. I did.
I liked it, but to put it above this,
I thought it was smarter than this movie, to be honest. But that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
All right.